Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. So I decided to create a video entitled Multi-Site VPNs using crypto maps. Okay, so basically what the objective is we're going to create a VPN tunnel to multiple sites. Okay, to multiple sites. This one here is causing me a little bit of a problem, right? And we're going to create this routing domain. So this routing domain, all right, where every site can actually reach every site via this multi-site VPN tunnel. Okay, so to do this, I just like to go over the configuration, and essentially we got to lay the foundation. Okay, we have to lay the foundation, and we have to configure the inside interface, and we have to also configure the outside interface as well. So as you can see for London, this is what we currently have right now. Okay, Ottawa. Okay, we scroll down. Cairo. Okay, and Kingston. All right, and pay really close attention to these IPs because we're going to go ahead and apply them and then test the configuration. All right, so I just applied the configuration, and I'd like to show you what I have gotten here. So I went on every single site, so my London ASA, and I applied the configuration, as you can see. All right, and I also tested connectivity for the inside interface, so the IP address of this particular PC here, which is 192.168.10.2, and also testing connectivity to the internet IP address that I'm peering with. Okay. Now, I've done that for every single site, so I'll just show you that. So this is the configuration for the inside and outside interface, and I tested connectivity and it works. For Kingston, the same thing, and also ping, and I have done the exact same thing here. All right. Now, let's just minimize this for a second. Let's move to the second stage where we're going to have to apply static routes. All right, so these static routes, I've created them to the /32 because I do not want there to be any mistake whatsoever. The only traffic that is allowed to hit the ISP provider is to achieve connectivity to the remote AS for VPN peering establishment, and that's it. Okay, so by doing that, I created a static route that points to the /32 out the interface of the ISP provider, which in this case, which would be this interface right here. Okay, and then for Ottawa, it's this interface, and then for Kingston, it's this interface, and for Cairo, it's this interface, and so forth. So I'm going to apply the configuration, and I'll be right back. All right, so I just applied the configuration. I want to show you what I got. So I went on to London, and I applied the appropriate static routes. Okay, and as you can see, they're in the routing table. All right, so this is the static route to reach the outside interface of Ottawa, Cairo, and Kingston. And you can see that I've also performed the show route command to show to you that this particular ASA is effectively recognizing the reachability of those outside interfaces via the internet. So this next hop interface over here on the internet. And I've done the exact same thing on every single router in correspondence to its proper relationship. Very important, right? So for example, Ottawa, you're going to have static routes that point to London, to Kingston, and to Cairo, right? And Kingston's going to have London, Ottawa, and Cairo, all right? And Cairo obviously is going to be the same as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the VPN config. So if we take a look at the VPN config, I did do things a little bit differently. Okay, so I did include the presence of objects, and we'll get into that because it just made things a lot easier. Okay, but here you can see that we define the policy, so this is important. Okay, next step is to define the peer and apply the appropriate local and remote authentications via the pre-shared key. All right, so that's very important as well. In companionship to that, because after they've authenticated the peers need to negotiate on the way the data is going to be encrypted, and this is via the IPsec proposal. So having done that, I've defined what the IPsec proposal will be for the relationship to Ottawa from London, to Cairo from London, and to Kingston from London. Okay. Now scrolling down, we get into the objects that I described earlier. So I decided to do the objects because it's just a lot easier to work with. When you define objects, you do not have to write out this command every single time. All you have to do is reference the object. So for example, in the access list, this is the access list for Ottawa, and I'm saying allow or permit the LAN subnet from London to reach the LAN subnet of Ottawa. And then for Cairo, it's London to Cairo. And for Kingston, it's from London to Kingston. I don't have to write out this particular the IP address in full because it'll reference the object. Okay, and so I'm leveraging that. Having to do that, you move over to the crypto map. So you can see that the first crypto map is dedicated to Ottawa. I've defined the peer, and I've also referenced the crypto map, right, which is Ottawa, Cairo, and Kingston. Okay, so you can see how that works. In addition, you are going to need this NAT command. Essentially, what happens is that you're basically saying that the inside interface is allowed to pretend like the Ottawa subnet is actually locally defined, but in reality, it's not locally defined. So what will happen is that London will recognize like Ottawa is directly connected, but what will happen is the ASA will actually reach Ottawa through the VPN tunnel. All right, and the same goes true for Cairo and for Kingston as well. So why don't I just go ahead and apply this configuration, all right, and let's see what happens. So I'm just going to go here, I'm going to copy all of this, copy, and I'm going to go on to London, very important to be on London, and I'm going to, ooh, no, didn't like that, so let me just copy that. And there you go. So let me just look through it again. ICAF policy 1, IPsec proposals, the authentication, the object groups. I have the access list, the crypto maps, and the NAT. All right, so let's take a look to see how that works. All right, it looks like it took it without any errors. Let's go to Ottawa. Now, Ottawa, you're going to see the exact same thing. So with Ottawa, you're going to see the exact same things with some things that are different. So in this case, you are going to have to remove the Ottawa configuration and place the London configuration, right? And that's basically like kind of all that changes from London to Ottawa. So basically, this is the London remote peer authentication, which you can tell is identical to what we saw before. I've defined London's IPsec proposal. The object groups I've left identical on every single ASA because we are going to reference all the object groups, so there was no need. And what I did is I defined also the crypto map for London. So I replaced the Ottawa crypto map one with London's crypto map on Ottawa, and also completed the change over here with the natting as well. So having said that, let's go ahead and copy this configuration. Select all. This is Ottawa. Copy. I'm going to go over to Ottawa. And always important to verify one last time. So London, Cairo, Kingston. Okay, so I'm just going to paste this. And it looks like it took it without any errors. Perfect. I'm going to go to Kingston. One last time, take a look. So I removed Ottawa. Sorry, I removed Kingston, and I placed Ottawa in this one. So you can see how this is Ottawa, Cairo, London, Ottawa, Cairo, London, London, Ottawa, Cairo, Kingston. You can see the configuration here is pretty much in good shape. Let's go back here. And this is for, you have to really make sure what you're doing, because if you paste on top of another, then you're just going to create more problems for yourself. So be very careful. And this is Kingston's VPN. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. One little quick check, and then we'll go from there. Ottawa, Cairo, London looks good. All right, so it looks like it took it without any errors there either. Let's go to Cairo. And Cairo is the exact same thing. So with Cairo, we have London, Ottawa, and Kingston. London, Ottawa, Kingston. We have Cairo to London, Cairo to Ottawa, Cairo to Kingston. London, Ottawa, Kingston. Okay, so that looks pretty much the same as well. Let's select all. Copy. Alright, so it looks like I may have already have applied this configuration already. So this one should be already up and running. It looks like I may have done this already. So having said that, let's just go to the next part, because we won't be able to test connectivity until we apply the last but not least, the static routes. All right, so the first one was the static routes for the VPN establishment to the /32, pointing out to the interface of the internet. Once you've applied the VPN configurations, you need to apply the second set of static routes, which are for London to reach Ottawa, for London to reach Kingston, and for London to reach Ottawa, they have to reach the endpoint VPN. They have to call the remote VPN, the remote address VPN, establish a VPN tunnel, and allow traffic to be routed over it via ESP. So let me just copy that. Let's just go to London. Config. Oh, no. Yeah, be very careful. I hope you have. Be very careful with your copy and paste. I'm lucky that I have this little multi-line paste on my terminal. Be very careful, because if you start, applying configurations on top of each other, it can be very nasty. Okay, so let's go to Kingston. Okay, and we have to, I think Cairo's already done, but we're just going to double check Cairo in a second. So Cairo doesn't look like it has the static routes though, so we're gonna have to do that. And we're gonna paste those there. Now, why don't we do this? So having done all that, I'm on the London PC right now. I'm going to start a capture on Ottawa. So start Wireshark. I'm going to start it. And I'm going to launch a ping to 40.2, and let's see what happens. Oh, okay, it worked. Where was I? So it looked like I have connectivity. Oh, because I'm going to Kingston. Sorry, I have to go to Ottawa. See, I'm telling you, you have to be very, very patient, and you have to be very, very prudent. Oh, there you go. See? Excellent. So take a look at that. So we have now established a crypto map IPsec IKEv2 relationship. Okay, and you can see how we went through the 4 stages of the IKEv exchange. So there was the init, the exchange, the authentication, informational, all in one shot. Okay, so you can see that I do have connectivity now, and successing ICMP peaks are now being protected via the encryption security payload. And the ping is actually happening from 192.168.20.2, but when I do a packet capture out on the internet, you're noticing that the relationship is 200.121 and 200.111, which is the endpoint tunnel. So you can see that end user traffic is completely encapsulated end to end. If I do that to Cairo, let's see if that works. I won't be able to packet capture that. Okay, so let's just stop here. Okay, so Cairo seems to have a little bit of a problem. Let's take a look at Kingston. So Kingston seems to be working good too. Right? All right, so I'll launch that ping again. And there you go. You can see that I have a multi-site VPN tunnel from London to Kingston and Ottawa. Cairo is causing me a little bit of an issue. Let's see if I can do some quick troubleshooting to stop that. See if I can actually start troubleshooting that. Maybe I can fix the problem really quickly. So one thing that really stops and comes out to mind is the fact that I'm only getting one-way direction when it comes to the ICAV Security Association. I don't know if you guys can notice that, but do you see that here? That it's almost as if London is attempting to reach out to Cairo, but Cairo's not responding. So there's obviously something missing in the configuration. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the configuration that I had over here. Actually, I just want to take a look to see what it has just really quickly. If I do a show run, you can see that the inside and the outside interfaces are properly configured. You can see that the static routes are there, but there isn't any crypto map configuration. There's no objects, there's no nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Cairo configuration. We're going to copy this. Okay, we're going to go like that. And we're going to London, Ottawa, Kingston. Always make sure. Always make sure. All right, let's see what happens now. So now I have applied the configuration. If I go back to London, oh, sorry. So I'm trying to reach the Kingston, and it takes a couple of minutes for the VPN tunnel to come back up. But let's try Cairo. Okay, so you can see now that Cairo is properly responding back, and there you go. You got the ESPs, right? So we have bidirectional traffic. Okay. And we have a multi-site VPN using crypto maps completed in GNS3. All right, so I hope this video was helpful. I hope this video helps you. And if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you and have yourself a great day.